car's suspension has 28 different points where things can go wrong.
Yes, the Peter Turner of Acacia Ridge in Queensland was our winner last week for correctly nominating Jan Stevenson's year of triumph in the US Open of 1983. Well, to harness racing now, and fans on both sides of the Tasman have had plenty to cheer about over the past week. And after a brief stint in the shaky Isles, Adam Hamilton has returned in one piece. And hopefully, Adam, with plenty of Kiwi dollars in your pocket.
Well, not quite, but I've come back to warn the Australian trainers that we're going to have a very hard time over the summer carnival, David. New Zealand's never had a stronger contingent of horses, and they're really going to take some stitching up when they come over here.
What were the conditions like in Christchurch for the New Zealand Cup?
The weather was fantastic. It's a massive carnival over there, much the same as our Melbourne Cup carnival, but on a slightly smaller scale. It's their show day last Friday, and they get tremendous crowds out there both on the Tuesday and Friday.
OK, well, Il Vicolo made it back-to-back wins in the New Zealand Cup, so does that stamp Il Vicolo as the best horse in Australasia?
Well, he probably claimed that title on Tuesday, but just a matter of a couple of days later, he was challenged for that. But here you can see we're getting into the middle stages of the race here, and Il Vicolo, he's a 5-year-old trained by Mark Purdon, who took all before him during the summer carnival. Mark made a lightning move around the field in the middle stages to take the lead, and there we can see him in front at this point, pretty well dictating the terms. So he's a very, very smart horse. I just thought that he was challenged over the final stages here after getting to the lead and having quite a comfortable run, and it just left some doubts to me as to whether he's quite as good as he was 12 months ago. We'll pick up Rion Murtha's call.
Vance's next, past the Musician and Anvil Vance. The half and 61.4. Down the back they travel. In behind them, Whale of a Tail, Prince Rasher, Desperate Comment, and Smooth Dominions about 4 wide at the back. They race out of the back straight. Il Vicolo's travelling sweetly by a neck. Next to him is Grinaldi, followed by Surprise Package, has had a dream run. Hoppy's Jet's well enough placed. Round the outside, Anvil Vance has somehow got out, and he's coming around them wide. In behind them, Victor Supreme, followed by Anvil Star, Whale of a Tail, Desperate Comment, Smooth Dominion. Il Vicolo's left them. It's Il Vicolo going for 2 in a row. Here comes Surprise Package down the outside. Anvil Vance is wider out. Anvil Star's flashing home, and Whale of a Tail. Il Vicolo is starting to stagger. Surprise Package, and through the middle, Anvil Star. They go to the post. Il Vicolo, 2 in a row.
Yes, 2 New Zealand Cups in a row, but you were saying not the same horse as it was last year, Adam. So what can the fans expect on December the 6th? He'll be over for the Miracle Mile. He
certainly will, and he'll be one of the major contenders there, David. But I've just got some reservations about him. He's a very tough horse and an outstanding stayer. But I just wonder whether he's got the speed to be a serious contender in the Miracle Mile. I know the New Zealanders will find that hard to believe, but I think he'll be struggling a little bit there.
Is that comment made in light of the fact that it was beaten in the free-for-all just a few days later?
Yeah, that's right. That was on Friday, the $100,000 show day free-for-all. And this race could have unearthed the horse who's going to be the one to beat in the Miracle Mile. A lightly raced 4-year-old called Heracles. He's not really known to Australians, but David, he was oh so impressive winning Friday, and he blitzed Il Vicolo, who finished 7th after having quite a nice run. But Heracles, having his first test against the big boys, was ultra impressive, and he's a confirmed starter for the Miracle Mile on December 6th and also for the Melbourne Summer Carnival. He could be the horse that harness racing can hang its hat on at the moment.
OK, well, last night in Hobart, the Tasmanian Championship, and certainly a battle in 2, Suleiman and Albuquerque.
That's the way it panned out, David. Yes, it was. We had Frank Scaravelli, of course, the colourful owner of young Mr. Charles, who made it a very truly run affair in the middle stages. There we can see No Equal, a Victorian horse in front, and young Mr. Charles absolutely charging up outside of him there. You can see they put on a cracking pace. Look for the Suleiman, who comes from well back in the field. He'll start his run soon around the field, and tracking him all the way is the Victorian horse Albuquerque. He was having only about his 4th start back from almost 2 years out of racing, and Albuquerque, I think, might develop into a good horse in time. But in front we've got No Equal. Young Mr. Charles has done plenty of work outside the leader, and now you can see the Suleiman coming 3 wide with Albuquerque on his back, and they're the 2 that single away to fight it out.
Takalichi is second last, and Ricky Dean has once again dropped out to the tail. Coming around the home turn, No Equal with the advantage of the inside and narrow leader. Young Mr. Charles on the outside, and here comes the Suleiman down the outside. It's going up on the outside of the leading pair. Warsale is tucked away on the rails, and they were followed by Nimbo Boy between horses. Albuquerque the outside, over on the fence, Warren Markup. Sresleki Lucky Lady as well, back with Takalichi and Ricky Dean, but by gee, they're tightly bunched up with 600 to go. No Equal is in the lead from young Mr. Charles and the Suleiman the outside. Wasalay is on the fence and Albuquerque the outside of them. They were followed further back to Wadamucka. Takalichi down the outside, but at the 400 the Suleiman goes to the lead. In second place is No Equal. Young Mr. Charles is beaten. Around the outside goes Albuquerque, followed by Wasalay, Takalichi. Well back in the field as they come towards the home turn. Wadamucka with Lucky Lady, but it's the Suleiman in front. Albuquerque in second place is trying to peg the leader back, and you can forget the rest. Around the home turn the Suleiman is clear. In second place is Albuquerque. Well back third is No Equal, but it's the Suleiman in front halfway down the running. Albuquerque trying hard, but the Suleiman's too good, and the Suleiman wins from Albuquerque.
Meantime in Moonee Valley, the Sires Classic, she's a Monza, certainly proving 20 wins out of 22 starts. Certainly one of the best 3-year-old fillies in this country.
Absolutely, one of the best we've produced in Australia for a long, long time, David. The significance of her win last night was that she took on the boys, the Colts and Geldings, in a feature 3-year-old race, the Sires Classic, and you can see that she's made her move around the field early to take the lead, and once she got in front, there was no beating Shizamona. The good news is that she's going to take on the boys again and try and do what only the very best fillies have done, and that's beat them in the Victoria Derby, which will be run in the January-February period over our summer carnival. So we'll pick up Dan Malecki's call here and look for Shizamona, all class and a real rising star.
They're off the back in 30.1. Gee, they're going to sizzle home, you'd think. Shizamona led by a metre. Day of Rain in second spot. No run for our Tsunami. King Rainbow about to wheeze out, and then Grappelli, Albert's Pride, Tessabart, Tucky Man, My Friend Jack. Shizamona into the straight of the 150. Led a metre. Day of Rain. Our Tsunami trying to get up on the inside, and then Grappelli running on, but it's Shizamona. She drew clear from Day of Rain, Grappelli, Our Tsunami, but it's Shizamona. She'll win again. Shizamona beat Day of Rain and Our Tsunami, then Grappelli, King Rainbow, Tucky Man.
Yeah, that's the action from Moonee Valley and the Sires Classic. Adam, what else is news on the harness racing scene?
Well, we're starting to get into the real heart of our Grand Circuit racing, and obviously with the Miracle Mile coming up, Norm's daughter, who won the Miracle Mile only 3 or 4 months ago, the one that was delayed from last December, she resumed at Gloucester Park on Friday night. A brilliant performance, winning on a rain-sodden track, going 158 for 1,700 metres, shows that she's come back from a setback and she's going to be hard to beat in the Miracle Mile. But the big news there is that her Golden Girl driver, Kelly Kersley from Perth, who created such fantastic scenes winning the Miracle Mile back in July, she's suspended for 28 days after the winning drive on Friday night. So she is going to appeal, and she'll have her fingers crossed that she's clear to take the drive on December 6th.
OK, but the message loud and clear, watch out for those Kiwis.
Yeah, it certainly is, but I think we've got a little bit of a hope there, David, with the trotters. Wagon Apollo, who time trialled in a brilliant 157 at Ballarat on Friday night. He's going to be our big gun. And also Noopy Kiosk, who you'll see a lot of here in Sportsworld over the summer carnival. He won in brilliant fashion at Moonee Valley last night.
Adam, thanks very much for joining us. And before we wrap up the program today, just a reminder what's coming your way in rugby news over the next few weeks.
For rugby fans, stay tuned to Channel 7 for live coverage.